Hello, good afternoon and welcome to News Today here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. Carmen Advisa, police speak on incident at Donkokrom in Eastern Region leading to hospitalization of more than 15 persons, even as a team is deployed to the town to investigate the cause of the disturbances. Also ahead, more than 1,000 Muslims to later today begin journey to Saudi Arabia for this year's pilgrimage to Mecca. We'll tell you more shortly. And we take you back to the classroom for math lessons here on News Today. Details of these stories plus a lot more, including updates in the worlds of business, sport, entertainment, as well as some international news, all coming up in the next hour here on News Today. Stay with us. My name is Kwabena Chenche. Many thanks for joining us. The very first story, and the team has been dispatched to the eastern regional town of Donkokrom to investigate the cause of a disturbance in the town on Thursday, leading to the hospitalization of more than 15 persons. Scores of residents of Donkokrom were yesterday left in critical condition after a clash with police officers over a jailbreak of 2 suspected robbers. Well, following that incident, we are told the team has been dispatched to the region to ascertain the real cause of the violence as well as conduct background checks on officers in the town. Let's speak now to Regional Minister Mavis Amafrempong, who joins me via phone with some more. Madam, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. Can you first tell us some more about these decisions that were taken? Because you do know that yesterday there was...
Speak out a little, please.
Okay. Because
of the movement of the vehicle.
Right, I understand that. So we do know that yesterday there was a meeting over this very issue. Can you tell us what came out of that meeting?
Okay, so thanks very much. Join you.
Okay. It appears you are finding it a bit difficult hearing exactly what you're saying, Madam Amafrempong, but she tells us that it's because she is in a moving vehicle. We're trying to get a stable line, and then we can hear from the Regional Minister Mavis Amafrempong, who has been trying to tell us a lot more about that very meeting that occurred yesterday. Well, we are told that following that meeting, a team has been dispatched to the town to first and foremost ascertain the real cause of yesterday's violence and then conduct background checks on all police officers in the town. We'll be bringing that to you in a bit. But we do also know that, well, here in Accra, the police has been speaking to the media. They've, for instance, first and foremost been narrating the incident to the press. Let's first take a listen to the Inspector General of Police, John Kudalo.
First among them is that we are not going to contain lawlessness. This is a society guided by the rule of law. It's our mandate to ensure that there is proper law and order within the society. I will not condone any act of indiscipline from any facet of society. The criminals who perpetrated have been arrested and on their way here. We don't see any reason why the innocent policemen who are going about their legitimate duty back at the workroom should be attacked in any way, especially their families, who were no part of the equation, no matter how angle you look at it. We have said it all, and we are going to think about more strenuous measures to take. Of course, we have names of some ringleaders, and they will be picked as soon as possible. These outrageous acts and indiscipline always have a very big toll on the police in particular and on society in general. As I talk to you now, over 100 policemen in the workroom marshal from the Volta region, Kufodia, and the headquarters. And this could have been channeled to giving protection and an society to go about their lawful duties, but there they are in the workroom. Again, I want to emphasize that it is the main aim of this administration to ensure that we leave the service with a lot of confidence and trust within the public. A police service that will be trusted by the public. And that's exactly what we are doing. And I know most of you know that in the CDD rankings The police is quite high and will not do anything to let it go down. They are going to maintain it and go higher. And that vein, the police administration will no vein try to condone any act of lawlessness and discipline, criminality on behalf of any policeman. No policeman will be spared or is found to have done anything contrary to the law. After all, nobody is above the law. We are here just to make sure that the law is obeyed. We are not the law itself. So I don't see the reason why anybody should try to take the law into its own hands to do these atrocious acts that were done in the courtroom. We don't see any reason at all for those acts that were meted out to the policemen there in the courtroom. And again, the arrest of the men shows that the police will do everything to weed the bad nuts from our midst. And there was no reason why people should read meanings and a lot of outrageous, comments about the police. This administration is bent on ensuring that we live a very trusted and confident police service for this country. Again, I want to...
That was the Inspector General of Police, John Kodalo, in an interaction there with the media. You heard him mention quite a number of steps that the police is taking to do some in-house cleaning. Well, unfortunately, we are unable to get a stable line on which to speak to the Regional Minister, Mavis Ama Frimpong. But what the information we have suggests that a team has been deployed to Donkokrom to first and foremost ascertain the real cause of the violence and also to run some background checks on police officers in the town. There'll be more on this on our news and news analysis program, The Pulse, which airs at 3 p.m. right here on your Joy News channel. Away from this now, and Muslims will later today begin flying directly from the Tamale International Airport to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for this year's Hajj. Saudi airline flyers would be pilgrims over the next 3 days. At the Hajj village here in Accra, officials are meanwhile feverishly working to ensure pilgrims do not encounter any challenges when they arrive on Sunday. If everyone's visited the Hajj village and has come through with this report.
The National Hajj Committee has assured Muslims participating in this year's Hajj a safe pilgrimage. Pilgrims will start arriving here at the Hajj village on Sunday to make the necessary arrangements for the journey. The flight from Accra to Saudi Arabia leaves on Tuesday, the 23rd of August. A total of 11 flights will be made this year to get the pilgrims to Mecca. According to the board, the move to airlift pilgrims from the 3 northern regions to Saudi Arabia is to make it convenient for all prospective pilgrims who hitherto had to travel to Accra en route to Saudi Arabia, and also reduce the cost incurred by the pilgrims. Spokesperson for the Hajj Council, Mohammed Amin Lamte, says this year's journey will be one of the best so far.
The advance team took off, I think, about 3-4 days ago. They are currently in Mecca and Medina, just waiting for Ghanaian pilgrims to arrive in Medina so that they will take good care of them. Because what we normally do is that when the pilgrims arrive in Medina, they have to stay for 3 nights. After 3 nights, then they have to move on to Mecca. That is where I'll bring in the issue of the transit. They will stay there for 3 nights, and then the subsequent 4 days, they have to move to Mecca. So we have some members stay in Medina, some in Mecca, just to make sure that the Ghanaian will be pilgrims are given the needed support when it comes to their welfare and what have you. So, this particular team, we have attached a doctor and about 2 or 3 nurses just for the first flight. So on each and every flight, we have to make sure we should have a doctor and a nurse, just because of the welfare of the will-be pilgrims.
The Northern Regional Command of the Ghana Immigration Service has trained some of its personnel to equip them with the skills needed to process passengers for boarding. Ifwa Evans Chinri for Joy News.
Upper West Regional Minister and Chairman of the Upper West Regional Security Council, Amin Amidu Suleimani, has banned further cutting and transportation of rosewoods in the region. Now, this follows the elapse of a timeline on the complete ban on such activities in the region. Mr. Amin Amidu Suleimani, who gave the directive at a meeting with members of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council in WA, also asked security agencies in the region to arrest and prosecute any person or group of persons who flouted the directive. Rafiq Salam has more in the following report.
According to the local-based non-governmental organization, Community Development Alliance, who are acting in concert with traditional authorities, civil society organizations, youth and women groups living in the Upper West region, The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, acting through the Executive Director of the Forestry Commission, on 15th of August 2015, issued a letter granting approval to 15 companies to process alleged lying and confiscated rosewoods in the northern, upper west, and upper east regions of the country. The minister's letter, however, failed to indicate the location of the purported lying and confiscated rosewood, as well as the quantities involved. For them, the letter granting the approval to the 15 companies without stating the location and quantities of the wood involved clearly suggests some mischief. Cantun Salafu Isifu is the Executive Director of Community Development Alliance.
The Honourable Minister's total disregard of the Timber Resource Management Regulations 1998 in granting approval to the companies, in granting approval for the 15 or more companies currently felling rosewood tree species, as indicated in his 15th August 2015 letter, to buy purported lying and confiscated rosewood, coupled with the total dereliction of duty by the Forestry Commission to supervise and ensure that no illegal felling of rosewood tree species is carried out by the companies or their agents, has led to massive destruction of over 300,000 tree species in 5 districts of the Upper West region.
They question the government's commitment to the vision of a green and afforested north, and humble call on President John Dramani Mahama to direct the Minister of Land and Natural Resources to immediately stop all illegal activities of these timber loggers and merchants.
We also demand that the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources should immediately cause to be published the total quantity of rosewood trees harvested and shipped out of the country, the income accruing to the state, as well as the use or disbursement of such funds in accordance with the regulations of the Timber Resource Management Act of Ghana. Your Excellency, we further demand the immediate resignation of the Honourable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources for violating the regulations governing the Timber Resource Management Act of Ghana in granting disguised timber permits.
Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam.
Over 140,000 people each year around the world from some 4.3 million cases. Health officials suggest basic hygiene can prevent most of such deaths. But in the central region town of Mori, poor sanitation is killing several. In 2014 alone, over 134 people in the town contracted the disease, with some dying. But as Felix Akoyam found out, many residents do not care.
This is Mori, a large fishing community in the central region. The coastal town is famous for many things, including tourism. It is also the hometown of the second gentleman of the land, Pakwisia Mr. Arthur. But there's one thing residents here are not proud of: poor sanitation. This makes the area a cholera endemic one. And there are many victims here. People have had to bear the brunt of a public negligence. Many people have been killed by cholera in this town. I meet Ajua Kunua, who is in her 60s. Ajua lost her husband in the last cholera outbreak in this community. His death is still fresh on her mind.
My husband complained of stomach upset. His upset worsened, so we took him to the hospital. He died shortly after he was admitted.
Ajua is frail and jobless, making life unbearable for her and her grandchildren following the passing of her husband.
My husband was our breadwinner. Since he died, I have had no one to take care of me.
She lives just meters away from the seashore. And here, that means living close to filth and open defecation, the possible cause of her husband's death. In spite of this, health officials in this community say they are making strenuous efforts to deal with cholera.
In 2012 we had it, and we had it in 2014. That was the last year we have it. We had it 2014, we had 134 cases. We had one confirmed death and one suspected death. But all the rest, all the 132 were saved.
We still saw people defecating along the beach, you know, garbage left along the beach. Would you say that the people are really listening to your campaign, and is it really working?
Some are listening. Some are listening. But some are also deaf to the campaign. Some are listening. So if they have not been listening, we have had the problem coming since last year and this year. So we will say that, well, some are not listening, but some are listening.
Nonetheless, a lot of work, both psychological and physical, needs to be done to deal with this public health situation. Felix Akoyam, Mori, Joy News.
Watching this today here on your Journey Shalom Multi TV. We'll return shortly with some more stories. Stay tuned. Many thanks for staying with us here on News Today to some more stories now. And approximately 90,000 pupils, representing 38% of the total number of students who sat for this year's West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, scored F9 in mathematics. Wondering why? Well, a number of factors, we are told, account for this rather worrying result. Though instructors say it is the easiest of all subjects, for majority of students, it is the most difficult. So how practical or easy can the approach to the study of math be made for students? For some answers, join Mrs. Komladom he spent some time with participants at a math camp here in Accra, where globally tested modules are being applied to kill the math phobia among students.
Of too much talk, less action, with the penchant of always enumerating our challenges. Today, we are exploring ways of making the study of mathematics very easy for students to be able to pass the examinations. The narrative that the subject has been a very difficult one has been confirmed by performances at the Basic Education Certificate Examinations and the West African Senior School Certificate Examination results of the past years. Today, we are exploring practical methods to which the subjects can be taught for pupils to assess.
For several years, the study of mathematics has been a bane of students both at the basic education and senior high school levels in Ghana, with many pupils developing a phobia for the subject. This reflects in the grades they score in mathematics at the Basic Education Certificate Examination BECE and West African Senior School Certificate Examination WASI. Handlers of a subject at various stages have not been so clear on how it should be addressed. In an attempt to find solutions to address the situation, individuals and groups have come up with globally tested models that simplify the abstractness of teaching and learning mathematics. The evidence-based and practical approach, according to facilitators at a mathematics academy in Accra, is addressing the situation in small leaps, but getting other major stakeholders to buy in has proven unsuccessful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3. So we label this as first horizontal, second vertical. So this becomes 5, 3. Okay? 5, 3.
Okay.
So you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So horizontally is 5. Vertically is 3.
Right.
So this is a unique point 5, 3. There's only one point in this plane which is 5, 3.
Okay. President of the Ghana Mathematics Association and founder of the Megasa Mathematics Academy, Professor Sichufe Anku, says it's high time the country took a position and tailored the teaching of mathematics to solving practical problems.
And it's not good for Ghana that so many should fail mathematics, because we at Ghana Mathematics Society believe that everybody can do mathematics, and that everything that we do contains mathematics. On top of that, we also believe the principles and methods of mathematics ensure the efficiency of all the things we do. So, put all these three together. It's alarming to see people feeling so much, because we believe mathematics is easy, if not the easiest of subjects to take in school.
Really?
It's the easiest of subjects.
Some of the participants at the camp have confirmed the effectiveness of this approach in their studies.
I've done a pentagonal envelope which we made here in Megasa, which has a 5 side. If you can see carefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the flap here is 5. I started with this normal Manila card and then reconstructed it into this thing you are seeing in front of me. So with the help of my compass and some of the guidance from this book, from this leaflet, I'm able to make a pentagonal envelope, which I've also designed it. So at the end of this, you can use this envelope for many things, like for birthday presents, decorations, post when you want to post something to a friend, or to even give a letter to somebody. You can even use this to tell the person you love maths, you're a fan of mathematics.
David Edujemfi Jr. is a facilitator at the mathematics camp and explains how the approach works.
The step will guide him to know how to construct any type of construction. They are not constructing only three-sided figures. They are not constructing only an angle. They are not constructing only four-sided figures. They are coming up with so many activities. And then if you miss one, you will not come out with a product.
Oh, okay.
If you miss one step, you will not come out with a product.
So that's the essence of the whole,
That is it.
Right.
But in our school system, construct angle 60. What do I need angle 60 for? What do I need angle 40 for? But at the end, he will come out with a product, which he will be happy to be doing it to solve so many problems. And then when he come out with the product he can use for so many things. He can use as a bag, he can use as an envelope, he can use as a birthday gift. So the essence here is that they don't just learn, but they solve problems.
For once, there is some solution to addressing the challenge with mathematics, but authorities at the mathematics camp fear these may not be enough if stakeholders continue to show disinterest.
So this is evidence of practical, activity-based teaching and learning of mathematics here at the Megasa Mathematics Academy at Lashibi. If you're wondering where they are located, you can visit their website on www.ghanamathematicsociety.org for more information. From Lashibi here, my name is Komladum, Joy News.
And in Accra, my name is Kwabna Chenchehine Boateng. To some more stories. Now, on medical sciences are calling for a review of the law regulating registration of allied health professional and other care providers in the country. The Medical Sciences Society of Ghana says the law, in its present form, discriminates against its members. President of the society, Elisha Nketialabi, says the Allied Health Professions Council has refused to license its members. Join Mrs. Kwesi Debra reports.
Medical scientists comprised biochemists, biological scientists, chemists, and science laboratory technologists. They provide supportive services in outpatient clinics and other roles in the healthcare delivery chain. The Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Act, Act 857 of 2013, mandates the Allied Health Professions Council to register practitioners. However, medical scientists say the council has refused to register and license them for no apparent reason. At a press conference in Kumasi, Mr. Nketialabi insisted only an amendment will address what he says is an anomaly. He says the situation has left many of the society's members unemployed.
We want to send a message to the lawmakers, government of Ghana, Parliament and the ministry to look at the 857 again and see to it that biochemists, biologists, biological sciences, science laboratory technologies, and all the affected sciences are included. They should register them and allow them to practice their profession. This is what we are saying. Simple. We are not fighting anyone, but we've been together. We work together. But for you to say that you have come, so we should leave, that is most unfair. So they have to look at the law again.
Ketia Labi wants the Ministry of Health to spearhead the initiative to right the wrong.
And the ministry has assured us that they will resolve the matter. But we think it's taking too long for them to come up with the issue. So we are pressing upon them to look at the matter and then let's resolve it. But we should call for a quick forum so that we all sit down and solve the matter to see to it that.
For Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
That's the watching news today here on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Is also available on your Go TV channel 144 and your DSTV channel 421. Time now for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you some business. Stay with us.
And now time for business. And in our first story, non-banking financial institution Daylight Finance has been adjudged the Business of the Year at the just ended Ghana Economic Forum. The award ceremony was instituted by organizers of the forum as part of an initiative to recognize indigenous businesses that have excelled in their sector to benefit the economy. Speaking to Joy Business after the ceremony, Head of Operations at Daylight Finance, Joe Jackson, said the award should spur them on to do more in the economy by expanding their operations to more parts of the country.
Economy has been soft, so growing, being able to say that we've employed over 2,000 workers in Daylight Finance over the last 3 years gives us tremendous pride, because we've been able to employ people and grow the business in spite of all the challenges of the economy. We've grown the business by growing out to the rural areas, by growing out to the peri-urban areas. I keep saying all the time that you're more likely to hear of Daylex in Drabeso or in Tumu or in Laura or in Akachi rather than in Accra in the high street. And so for us, what gives us pride is the fact that not only have we grown employment, but we've grown employment in the rural areas. I'm excited. There's a sense of appreciation and a sense of being humbled that our peers and people in the industry and business titans have seen what we're doing at Daylight Finance and have thought it worthy of rewarding or of giving us this award. So there's a sense of humility, yet at the same time a renewed sense of zeal to keep driving and striving for the things that we believe in and the things that we believe will make a change to this country.
The Chief Executive Officer of 4G Internet Service Provider Busy, Praveen Sadalaj, has expressed the company's commitment to helping small businesses with innovative technological solutions to facilitate their activities. He said the business landscape is evolving and therefore called on business owners to adopt new technologies to remain competitive.
Busy, formerly Busy Internet, earlier this year launched its 4G internet service after rebranding. The company offers consumers and businesses an innovative and flexible range of 4G data packages. Mr. Sadalaj explained how Busy's technological solutions can benefit small businesses especially.
Now, if service providers like us are able to give hassle-free, totally clean, hassle-free service, and they don't have to worry about, okay, I have bought this connectivity, now I have to go and sort it out. No, you buy Busy and you're done with. So that's where the ease of doing business with Busy comes in. And we are trying to make it as simple and as user-friendly to our customers as possible.
The 4G internet service provider is also sponsor of Joy Business's SME-focused show, The Joy Business Van, which won Best SME Reportage at the SME Ghana Awards held last week. Mr. Sadalaj said Busy was proud to be associated with the program.
As you are aware, Busy historically has been associated with startups and small businesses. And when it started way back in 2001, we were ourselves a very small startup into this space, and we wanted to encourage startups who are new on the market, who are trying to do something on their own. So this connects with our history. The reporting from my personal experience and from the feedback I get from my team, it has been phenomenal.
Meanwhile, the first season of the Joy Business Van has wrapped up. Producers promise an exciting second season, which begins next week. Daryl Kwao is the presenter of the show.
We're excited about this award. We could have asked for a better way to end the first season of the Joy Business Van, and you know, every time we are recognized for what we have done, it just tells us that the people out there appreciate and that we are making an impact and we are telling the stories that need to be told. So all I can say is a big thank you to the team, and that watch out for an exciting season 2.
The Joy Business Van has won 3 awards since it started airing in 2014.
So that will be it here for business, but we have a lot more business for you on the marketplace at 1. Today on the marketplace, we'll be wrapping up the entire activity that happened in Takoradi just throughout the entire of this week with to do with the 10 project, the implications on the domestic economy and also the people around the project. All these and more we have for you on the marketplace. So do make a day with us. My name is John Kojo Amwako. Up next is your sport.
Let's talk some entertainment here on Joy News today. Now, Hiplife artist Fifi Seller, former member of the group TH4Quadges, has disclosed in an interview with Joy News that the biggest amount he had ever received as payments throughout his entire music career was 5,000 cedis. He spoke to Ms. G.
I'm yet to see.
What's the problem?
I don't know. I know. It's management. You know, I believe as musicians and as artists, you need to have a management team that will really do the work for you. Because at the end of the day, when you prize, because maybe you have the passion, you might compromise. You say, okay, I will take maybe 150, and then because you are the artist, you want that crowd, you want the show. The promoter will tell you, I'll give you 50. Maybe you want it, you understand. But if the pricing is done by somebody else, unknowing you, the artist not knowing, I think it helps. You understand? The artist doesn't even know how much the guy is charging. You know, it helps. But when they get to you, the artist, they're able to maneuver their way because they know that you have the passion. So that was what we were lacking. We were pricing, and since we had the passion and we wanted to cut across the whole Ghana, we would do anything, you know, for any amount. But you come and you hear that, oh, Charlie, this show where you guys come, you slack, because these people, they take big money. These people take big money, and somebody, Charlie, we collect this, and you know, so it wasn't easy, and there were no big shows, no telcos and things. Hey, madam, do you know that since I started performing as an artist, I've not received like 10,000 as remuneration for show before? No. The father's is 5,000. And that one self is just some few 2-3 years ago. Then I went for a show and I was paid 5,000. I was like, hey, these boys are chopping on you. Yeah. It's good. Now we have the telcos who are investing. We have people who are coming into the industry and pumping money in it. At that time, hey, it wasn't easy. You know, they say, Muhumami yo, Imbosu Bantin Wama Muhumaminko, Eshene Empema, Primprina Kachemo, Azuba Chance, Akukwabon Kukru. I wanted to say, Mama Fio Basewa, Kurante Bayan Kame to Sacro Marcon in chain, Machono Makoma, Namasan Sewayeme or Bahima, Ebe, Azami Ye, Menumo.
Here on Joy News today, Chanchahin is standing right by.
And obviously I can see quite a lot to happen this very weekend as far as this hip-hop awards is concerned. But I don't know, apart from Drake, I don't know, I'm sure if I was competing, I would probably be in there as one of the nominees. But I don't know, what do you think are the chances of the others? Kendrick, for instance.
Kendrick Lamar, I'm not sure he will be able to compete Drake.
Really?
Yeah.
Kendrick?
Well, that's my personal opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, Drake is leading the nominations, and well, we're hoping
we'll see how it goes. And again, you said Charlotte is happening this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, tomorrow at Jamestown. We should pass by.
Right, we'll try to do that. Becky, many thanks for that update. And that was Becky joining us with entertainment. And indeed, that will be it for the news this afternoon here on your Joy Nation on Multi TV. It was available on your Go TV channel 144 and your DSTV channel 421. For more news, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. And if you go there, you could see quite a number of stories there, including that pretty interesting conversation we had with the founder of the International God's Way Church earlier today on the AM show, Daniel Obinim. Right, time now for me to say bye-bye. Well, later today we'll be bringing you that very discussion with the Africa Center for Energy Policy on television and radio and online at 5:30 p.m. Remember, it's Ghana Connects, and indeed the entire team will be bringing that to you in a bit. Many thanks for your time. Up next is the Marketplace with John Kojambako and the entire business team.